What pops out of these shells is an insect that's been measured screaming as loud as a jet plane taking off, and chances are they've peed on you without you realizing. These empty exoskeletons belong to one of the estimated 1,000 species of cicada that live in Australia. They're an absolute summer icon because during the warmer months they become adult and start filling the air with their songs. But where do they suddenly appear from? The cicada begins its life as a little egg on a tree trunk, and when it hatches, the nymph melodramatically throws itself to the ground and burrows under, finding a tree root to feed from while it grows. Cicadas are a kind of insect called a bug, and they have sucking straw mouth parts. They use these straws to suck up tree sap. Australian cicadas can spend up to 7 years underground before they're ready to leave home, and then the warm weather and rain stimulate them to dig their way to the surface and climb a tree. Watching cicadas emerge to their adult form is magical. They begin looking like muddy aliens with knife hands lurching up tree trunks. Then they find a spot to settle and burst backwards out of their skin. Suddenly, they look like an entirely different animal. They're bright, they're colourful, they've got wings, they've got some serious ab muscles. The process of emerging takes about half an hour. Then the adult cicada hangs to dry on its old skin. Then it's an adult and it's ready to rumble. Cicadas sing, or let's be honest, scream to attract a mate. It's only the males that do all this shrieking, and each species has its own unique call. Cicadas are the loudest insects on the planet. Some Australian species have been measured screaming for mates at 120 decibels, which is basically something you can hold in your hand, producing as much sound as a rock concert. Multiply that by thousands of tiny rock shows, and it's understandable why the Australian bush in summer can get a little deafening. After spending years underground, a cicada's life as an adult is surprisingly short. They've only got a few weeks to find a mate and produce the next generation of cicadas before it's all over. No wonder you scream so much. Cicadas are also responsible for a very special kind of rain. If you've ever felt a spattering of rain on a clear summer's day, then it's quite possible you've been peed on by a cicada. Adults sit up the trees on the hottest days of the year seeking their mates. And to keep cool, they have to drink a constant supply of tree sap. They take in so much water so quickly that all they can do is shoot it back out the other end. And if you're walking under the tree at that time, it's likely you're gonna get a light sprinkling of insect pee. But don't worry, it's pretty much what just came out of the tree. Consider it a blessing from our iconic summer insects.
Paperbacks remind me of the Gate Lounge. New York Times.